Dear lonely people of Reddit, how are you doing? Well, it feels like my life is in its epilogue. My life feels like a filler episode. I feel like a freaking NPC. Well, stop stealing my titty pics then, I'm trying to finish a quest here. I'm invisible, meaningless, and all the importance of a shadow. A shadow's importance is relatively decided by its place. In normal days, they seems overlooked. But in a hot place, you will long for some shadow. I guess a shadow's importance will grow with this changing global warming. Perhaps it's your time to shine soon. Not the greatest. I don't think I've slept for more than 3 consecutive hours in the last 4 months. My friends are all engaged to each other and never want to go out and do anything, so I'm always fifth wheeling on the rare occasions I even see them anymore. My parents are trying their best, but I still feel like I'm a disappointment to them as well as myself. The rest of my family barely acknowledges my existence unless they need something from me. I can't find a better job and I'm stuck making minimum wage, hardly able to get by without help from my parents. I lost my sense of purpose, and it's only gotten worse since I got out of the military. Dating has been one disappointment after another. I live alone and outside of work. If I didn't go to my regular coffee shop on occasion, I could probably go months without speaking to another human. I could probably go on, but the TLDR is that I'm just lonely and desperately need physical affection and love. I really wish I were a priority to someone other than my parents. Could be worse. Could be with people. I'm lonely. HBU. Me too, thanks. Little on the low side. I have no drive or ambition in my life. My friends are few and far between. As I have gotten older and been alone, I genuinely have only gotten bitter about how things are, but am unable to change them. My depression take hold of me sometimes and I just spiral out, cutting myself off from everyone and everything till I feel awkish or have to do something. And I'm still living in the house I grew up in with my mom and dad at 30, so needless to say I fail badly at life, but if it wasn't for them I would 100% be dead on the streets right now. A bit empty, like if I died right now, it will just be a oh no moment and people will move on. There are always people who would miss and grieve you. People are not always good at showing it. Recently better, less lonely, finding more support. My 12-hour 6-day job just ended a little while ago, and it finally feels like I'm finding my friends again, getting back into life. It sucks because I'm very clearly lonely because I have crooked facial features. I mean, yeah, I have a good personality and all, but when your nose is on your mind literally all the time, it can be hard to even talk to someone. There'll be times I look great in the mirror, or so I'll think, until someone makes an unintentional offhand comment about how I need to change my hair or something, or just stare at my face without meaning to and just ruin my day. I don't blame people. You need to like what you see before you like how that person makes you feel, and I'll just never cross that barrier. I see a dad take a selfie w his kids and think I could never do that. Even if I did have a kid, I'd never be able to do simple things like take selfies and all. It's heartbreaking. I gym. I go to work. And out too if someone ever calls, but every time it's like I'm going into battle. What with all the being defensive and being on edge about my looks. Sucks balls, man. You see these other kids run about with friends, get love jitters when they meet someone new, and sometimes you just wish you were an average kid with all of that. It's my birthday today. I never celebrate it cause I don't have friends, but my parents gave me $40 and mom made a cake and nachos pizza, so it's great. I maybe don't have friends, but I have an awesome family. Also, I have exams in 4 days, so a little bit stressed out, but it'll be fine. Although I am very much alone, I am not lonely. I prefer it this way. Alone is underrated. Old, tired, lonely, isolated, friendless. I'm disappointed that I wake up in the morning. I try to keep busy piddling around the house, but let's face it, no one should have to feel like this, especially in the winter of their life. Thinking of seeing therapy at my local college. Have not been well. Started a self-improvement regimen several months ago, and while I can definitely see and feel the results, it hasn't helped me in the friends romance department at all. I can go out and make acquaintances easy, but bridging the gap from acquaintance to actual friend is really hard as an adult. People live in their own little bubbles, and unless you're over the top entertaining or interesting, people don't want to let you in. I still keep trying, but man, it gets depressing and feels like running into a wall repeatedly at times. You know the saying, you gotta spend money to make money? Well, it seems you gotta have friends to make friends. Part of my problem is I'm reserved and picky, but I want to surround myself with positive, uplifting people. I'm not thirsty enough to drink poison. Sometimes meeting friends at events which are reoccurring, so to speak, makes it easier. I play music, so been going to weekly open mics, and you tend to see the same faces and get closer by grace of it being on most weeks. Finding something to suit your interests could work. I'm alone. I typically don't think of myself as lonely. However, I'm less happy having people around me all the time. I'm happier being alone. I have a hard time being happy. I can't imagine being responsible for someone else's happiness since I'm so crappy at making myself happy. I'm sick of. Get well soon. Just tired from everything. Doing better than last year. Losing weight and nearly normal weight, so that's helping. But there are days where I just want to go up and hug someone. I don't really have anyone close to me. Family is all out of state and I'm far too shy to go out and meet someone. I'm always afraid I'll come off as creepy or do something stupid. At least I have 2 cuddle bug dogs. I feel like I am held together with glue and tape. On the whole, better. However, today, I woke up remembering that I do most of the initiating in my friendships and get little reciprocity. Feels bad, man. I feel you so freaking much. I've always been the most active in the group, the loudest in the room. I feel like I have the funny guy syndrome. I also feel like I'm autistic based on my actions, which may be a thing actually. Last year was so crap that I even considered going to a therapist. Nothing major has changed, but I think it helped with my self-love. Not much. Trying to get over her lately. You'll be fine. Be awesome and work on yourself. My memory has gotten real bad. I couldn't tell you if an event happened yesterday or last month. Hanging in there. I've just got out of my first ever Narcotics Anonymous meeting after having 4 years clean and realizing I can't stay sober alone anymore. Here's to the start and in some ways the continuation of a lifelong journey. I feel like I'm in an endless void. I felt like being around people on a Sunday morning, so I went to a large downtown church. It was sad to see that in a building that seats around 800 people there were no more than 20 some scattered all around the vast space for the principal liturgy of the day. They didn't sing or participate. It felt lifeless. The experience made me wish I had stayed home. Just broke up with someone I love dearly. Don't have many friends in state. Too cold to go do things. Just me and my cat. I'm making tiny clay figures. Fantastic. I have a simple life and no hassle. What's to moan about? Just want to get away from everything for a while, but never have the funds. It's been a crazy 2 years. A complete failure early 2017. Got kicked out of college. Was about to be 25 and had accomplished nothing. Depression was eating me up and I had been a failure since I graduated high school in 2012. Pushed through though. Got into this tech program. Got an internship for 6 months. Started dating someone for the first time. Didn't work out mostly because I've always been a social outcast and it was hard to be affectionate towards someone. Internship ends and I meet this really cool girl. We hung out a couple times and I fricked that up as well. Hurt her pretty bad emotionally but unintentionally. We stopped talking and I never forgave myself. Realized I was being hard on myself and there was no way I could have known about her past since she never told me. Started making big changes and eliminating bad habits. Got a great job and for the first time in near 8 years I'll have weekends off. I don't hang out with my friends or speak with my family much. So having the weekends should give me time to be more social and work on myself more. Just trying to be the best I can be and work on the mistakes I've made, so I can do better and have some real relationships. I've just read your story and it's already quite an inspiring one. I applaud your will to forgive yourself and change. I hope you make the best use of the time you have now. Make your future worth the effort you put in it. If loneliness is your friend, you're not lonely anymore. Are absolute tell not my rule. Not bad. It gets pretty easy when you just embrace being alone. Agreed. Have recently realized this. My fiancé is in the other room packing up their half of our life together. I'm doing bad. That sounds awful. I'm sorry, buddy. Honestly, not super great. The sad thing is, I have a boyfriend, but it feels like he doesn't care about me like he used to. He would rather spend his time with other people and doing other things. This is much worse than being single ever was, but I don't have the courage to end things. In all honesty, I keep hoping that an accident will take me out, but it doesn't seem like that is going to happen anytime soon. Don't be afraid to talk. Issues must be addressed and discussed, else things will take a venomous turn on the long run. I'm struggling. I have a few family issues going on, but they don't go in the theme of this thread, they just enhance my emotional state. I confess to the woman I have incredibly strong feelings for. She works with me, the desk next to me, actually, and I spent a long time trying to get over her because I didn't want the difficult situation of either dating someone I work with or being rejected by someone I work with and making it weird. But then we became friends and kept getting closer, and I'm head over heels. When I confessed, she was responsive and explained all of her baggage that she is trying to work on before she dates again. She even went on to flirt with me and tell me the things she likes about me, and God, I'd never been spoken to like it before, not even from anyone I was in a relationship with. I've never felt more noticed and appreciated as far as being attractive to someone in my whole life. It was literally a new feeling in my heart I'd never felt before. She wasn't ready for anything yet, but ever since we talked I felt a shift towards the potential. Mild flirting, more openness, but I'm afraid of being on the hook just for nothing to pan out. I'm going to stick this out, whatever happens. But in every private moment I lose all confidence in the situation and in myself, although I gain it all back the moment she's near. The confession was just this past week, but it feels like it was a month ago. I stand by my choice to wait for her. I just need to air out my thoughts more, I think. You got this. Just got friend-zoned. Don't blame yourself for it. They aren't interested in you that way, and it's fine. It's all subjective. You've got nothing wrong in you. Pretty crap NGL. My dog's passed away. I'm unemployed. My friend dropped me because I told our mutual friend. She literally said, I'm using them. And since I was bullied relentlessly in middle school, I couldn't stay silent about the abusive behavior. So my friend dropped me. My BF works more than we see each other each week. I have mental illness that is getting in the way of doing things, like showering. I haven't showered in a week. I need to. I have a towel ready, but I'm sort of afraid of water because I was assaulted in the rain. This led to me having PTSD, and now that people know I have mental illness, because I came out during one of those mental illness awareness months, I haven't heard anything from anyone. Worst of all, the person I tried to confide in about my assault doesn't believe me. This all ties into being alone constantly, without a job because my panic disorder GAD kicks in and I usually flee the job. I just want real life friends I can hang out with, and I want to feel happy again. There's so much more. I've cried 3 times today, yeah I know, whatever, and I know it won't be the last. Most of all, I just want my dogs back. I miss them. Get made fun of for not doing normal people stuff because I'm socially inept. Makes me not wanna go out at all. Frick normal people. As long as you're kind, you deserve to be treated well. If you're a weirdo, find your widows. We're stronger together. Lonely. My parents are divorcing and I lost my job at the end of the year. After breaking out of a long-term abusive relationship, I found that I didn't have friends anymore and I don't know how to make any new ones. Sometimes I daydream about cooking a meal for a loved one, or pillow talk, or a nice long hug. Those are some wholesome daydreams. I think more people should dream of good hugs. I wish you all of the hugs in the world. My grandparents called today and asked if I had a girlfriend yet. I said no, and grandma tried to convince me to join a choir or theater production. Well, I'm 17 and I don't know how I'm doing, but I think it isn't good because I cried in dark before I saw this, so I said frick it and started writing this. I feel like being eaten from inside. I have a feeling in my throat that literally always makes me uncomfortable. I nearly have no one and I see no point in sharing these feelings with the ones I have because I don't feel close to them. When I saw this post I thought if I share this I would feel better, but I still feel like crap tbh. Welp. I have a decent amount of friends, but I don't hang out with them out of school. I sometimes rely on Omegle to get my social interaction for the day, but it isn't quite the same. I obviously don't have a girlfriend, but it is alright. I'm not suffering like a bunch of other people, so I'll just suck it up because this is nothing compared to other people. Not too good, man. My oldest and best friend just OD'd. I just had to put my dog down. My grandfather's a 10% kidney function and he's going to have to go on dialysis. One of my oldest friends just fricked me over. Another one of my oldest friends just had a kid with my ex-girlfriend who I had a miscarriage with. A girl that I was into a couple days ago was hugging up on another guy in my house on my couch a couple days ago, so you know that's just some icing on the top, and on top of all that I've relapsed, so I'm not doing good. Kinda just drifting through life RN. Hopefully things'll be better after I graduate. You have been visited by the comfortable garlic bread of good back support. Subscribe to Updoot Reddit in 3 weeks or never sit comfortably again. You have a lot of time for this one. I understand if you're busy, no rush. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.